In July 2024, PSA made a huge announcement sharing that they will begin grading comics and magazines beginning in the first quarter of 2025. Well, here we are in the first quarter of 2025, and I've got several questions about the status of PSA rolling out these grading services, so stay tuned. I'm going to tell you everything I know. So as of today, CGC is the only company grading magazines, and it's by far the most reputable company that is grading comics. So it's no surprise that many collectors are waiting really anxiously for PSA, who's a monster in the world of grading sports cards and other collectibles, and they're waiting for them to launch their comic and magazine grading service. So question number one is, when is this going to happen? Well, from what I'm hearing is that you can pretty much count out quarter number one like they had originally announced. And unfortunately, it does not look like quarter number two is very likely either. At this point today, it seems that the third quarter of 2025 is most likely, which would fall sometime between July and September. Now, the second question is, are comics and magazines both going to open up for grading at the same time? And unfortunately for magazine collectors like myself, it looks like the answer to this is also no. It's highly likely that PSA is going to roll out a staggered release with comic grading coming out first, probably several months before magazine grading. So for the hardcore collectors, you'll remember that this was the exact same strategy that CGC employed whenever they rolled out their recent JSA autograph authentication services. The comics came out first in May 2024, and then the magazines didn't follow until October of 2024. So I think we can expect something really similar with the rollout of PSA comics and magazines, with comics coming first. And then question three is, what's the holdup? PSA initially had indicated a possible January release, so what's this delay all about? Well, what I'm hearing is that they are really taking their time trying to perfect the holder. And honestly, that's not a huge surprise, especially considering what PSA's general manager of pop culture had to say in this really good interview that she did a few months back with Neo Comics.
Even just like developing like the holder, it's like we've gotten through multiple iterations of that, and it's months and months, lead times to build molds and to get 3D prints and to like everything we're trying to do at PSA standards, you know what I mean? And with PSA quality, and they'd pick it up and be like, oh my gosh, this thing is so heavy. But some people really liked that. Like a lot of customers were like, this feels premium, this feels really safe, like, this is shatterproof, like this will really protect my valuable book. And so a lot of like more individual customers like actually really liked that. But then I know there's other customers and like dealers, and maybe if you're dealing with large quantities, you're like, this is going to be such a headache to carry and ship, and it's just so heavy, doesn't fit in my standard sized boxes that I have with all my other graded comics, like, and I understand that too. So that's kind of where we came to this conclusion of, we don't want to totally throw away this kind of premium holder that we had on display at San Diego. We'll still offer that. Golden Age books, any kind of oversized comic books will fit in there. And we want to give people an option to have that holder if they want kind of something that's more durable and truly like focus on that protection and preservation element. Like we have that option, but then we are also developing a slightly smaller and lighter, kind of more industry standard sized holder as well. So we'll have that at launch too. So we'll have kind of the industry size smaller one. We'll have this more kind of premium, slightly larger one that we had at San Diego. And then we'll have our magazine holder.
So there you have it, people. That's all I know so far. Those are just based off of some rumblings from talking to some people in the hobby. I'm also going to link that full video to the interview from Neo Comics with PSA's general manager of pop culture. She's the one kind of overseeing this rollout with comic and magazine grading. And magazine collectors are going to have to be patient because it looks like comic grading is going to be coming first. And even that's not going to happen until probably later this year. It's going to be interesting to see if CGC does anything significant between now and then to try and strengthen their hold on the market until PSA comes into the game. While the JSA authentication service was a huge plus for them, the two most recent things CGC has done is, number one, to increase their submission prices, and number two, their turnaround times have really extended into much longer periods. So not exactly making me fall more in love with CGC. But anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you have not yet done so, please subscribe to this channel. Also appreciate likes and comments. And until the next video, we'll see you next time.